Good morning, everybody. I'm actually very humble because I have never imagined that I will be associated with this term called education. Because the truth is that I have never gone through formal education in my life. Really, that's the truth. So when I started doing what I'm doing right now, of course, I have many people come up to me and say, what give you the qualification to talk to us about this kind of thing? I don't have a PhD. I never even gone beyond Singapore system called O-level. I only have 3 O-level, for the matter of fact. And my whole life is about University of Life. And that's why Singapore Open University of Life, in short, is called SOUL, soul. Because I believe Singapore needs a soul. Because we need a soul ourselves. So what is education? I'm no expert. Actually, I didn't claim to be an expert. So when Reyang asked me to speak, I didn't even know what topic that she's asking me to speak. Only last week she said, I'd like how the theme is education. I go, gosh. So sorry, my PowerPoint presentation just completed this morning at 6:30 a.m. So I just want to share a little bit about my journey. But today, everywhere in the world, we always hear that education is the key to solve many, many problems, right? Solve poverty, solve many, many things, solve discrimination, solve this, solve that. We have problem with people still littering a lot. Okay, don't catch them, don't find them, just educate them. Continue that. People don't queue up in the train, just educate them. Hopefully one day people will just enlighten. See, is it true? Is that the truth? I mean, the world now has so many more educated people. With education, of course, we created lots of opportunity. Obviously, this room, all of us, excluding me probably, are the educated one. You have a lot of opportunity to travel around the world, have many opportunities to make changes in your life and other people's life. But I also witnessed for myself in the last many, many years, you can guess how old I am later, many, many years, I've traveled deep in many countries, 70 countries almost. I'm on to collect the next number 70. That I also saw many educated people doing far more destructive things than you can ever imagine. And uneducated people probably will just hurt somebody. But I can tell you, my goodness, educated people has the power not just to make changes, but to create lots of destruction. So what is education? So let's see. And of course, this morning I just Google search. It say the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. Oops, when I saw that, I didn't qualify. But did you see the word systematic instruction? The whole world right now today have a very systematic behavior. Do you all agree or do we not agree? Maybe you can tell me. There are many international people here. So what is it? And let me just also this morning I decided that for the first time I should take a good look at our MOE, Ministry of Education website. It says that the mission of Singapore Education Service is to mold the future of Singapore by molding the people who will determine the future of Singapore. Wow, we have very molded people here in this country. And I'm not so sure, so don't get me wrong, I think Singapore education system has done very well. In fact, now it's being sought after by many, many nations to say that we should model after Singapore some aspect of it. I think we've done well. Singaporean today can travel far, get good job, pay very well. So what exactly should education be all about? So you know what? As I was doing GUI, Ground Up Initiative, in the last 6.5 years, continuously I have educator from the MOE, Ministry of Education, came up right to my face saying, "You are poisoning the minds of the young." I'm poisoning the minds of the young. You are misleading them. What did I do that that earn this kind of thing. It hurts me when the first time last year in November that a deputy director of MOE said, "You are poisoning the minds of the young. Why are so many young people following you?" I said, "How do I know? I didn't ask them to follow me." But it really set me deep into introspection. What am I doing in Singapore, especially, that got our people who are sitting there influencing curriculum and many things to say that I am poisoning them? Am I? I don't know. I don't know. So I was so sad, quite rejected that morning, that whole day, that I thought I should just maybe just fold up GUI and but you know what? I am not those person who give up easily. I call my team and I say, "What went wrong? What did we do wrong?" Of course, for that, you got to buy me more coffee. I will tell you why. But I want to start my journey. I think probably they saw this picture. That's why they think that I am poisoning the minds of the young. I look like somebody who's going to do some rituals one morning. Yes. So I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown about my background. I started life since 9 years old because I have to come out to earn as the eldest of the family to support my family. So I've never stopped working until today. Guess how I am. So, but at the age of 33, I started reflecting about my life. I was doing well. For a person who have no formal education, I went on to work for a US MNC, and I was looking after 11 countries and earning 5-figure salary a month. And that is really good. But I decided that life is much more than that. So I gave up. I went off. I thought it will only be a few months. It went on to almost 4 years, 35 countries, 5 continents. So one fine morning, I arrived at Mexico without even know that I'm going to go to this place called Teotihuacan. I sat there with my camera tripod. I took these pictures. But I decided subsequently that I should really come back to Singapore, because many people met me along my journey, say that, "I think you should go back to Singapore. Singapore need a person like you." I was like, "Really? Do they really need me?" I don't know. And it was back then, more than 10 years ago. And because I took the road less traveled, and you must remember, I came from the era, even have a beard in Singapore at the time, is considered bad. When I went for my first job, my boss asked me to shave my beard. When I started growing long hair, they said, you have to cut your hair because nobody will ever accept you. Of course, today this is no longer a taboo. So this is always the problem. I took the road less traveled by. And of course, during my travel, I sat and reflect a lot. Ask myself, before I die, I want to see the world. I've seen the world, and now what's next? And then I look back at my country, and my country top leaders say, we need to remake Singapore because Singapore is facing lots of competition. I think we are very good in that. And said 2 things we need to remake out of the 100 recommendations that came out. They say we need to teach our young to learn how to take risks. Wow, take risks. And then I look back. I don't have much radar at the time, but I say, how are those people going to take risks when most of them have never taken real risks in their life? How? And the next thing is we need to teach Singaporeans to be more creative. Thank you for Creative Morning, Singapore. And I was like, how? When the whole environment, don't get me wrong, when the whole environment it's not conducive towards the thing. I was working the last 3 years in my IT career in Silicon Valley companies. I saw how creative they are in the way the kind of culture. They don't dictate that you cannot wear jeans to come to work. When I first went to Europe, I felt so comfortable because everybody was having beard. I was like, what is it that determine creativity and risk-taking? And I set myself to come back. I came back. I did a lot of things for 5 years. And I felt, while I was doing some ripple, and I felt something was still lacking. And finally, I came to this realization when I spent 5 months in New Zealand in many eco-villages. And one of the first discovery, while I already have understood this word connection, is when I came to this, we are becoming more dehumanized with more science, more math, more engineering. We become very inhuman, actually. the way we deal with people, we lost the conscious identity. It's because educated people, I'm sorry to say that, I just say this to provoke this morning, went around setting cause of massive destruction of many, many things. Last 2 days we read there was a big paradise coming up in the south of Singapore, building villas over waters, spending 240 millions so they invite people, rich people to go there and stay. Nothing wrong with that. And then they say, in order to make it different, we need to preserve lots of nature. I do not know how much they can preserve nature. When people go down there, probably they cause a little bit more destruction. So anyway, another discovery that I had while I was in New Zealand, sitting under the stars in the caravan, wondering what else could I do to make some more change. And then I came to realize this. One of the first conditions of happiness is the link between man and nature shall not be broken. And instantly I said, voila! I understand why. Because Singapore only has 711 square kilometers now. When I was young, we were 580 square kilometers. And with each land, they say we don't have enough land. We don't have enough nature. We don't have this, we don't have that. And Singaporeans are brought to understand that we really don't have land. And so we have to voluntarily surrender many things. Nothing wrong with that again, I say that again. But in the process, we cause many people to have that real disconnection. We have parks. We have real parks. But parks are what I call prim and proper, PAP. It's not the real park or nature that we talk about. Then we go in and explore. And you go in and be surprised by what comes out suddenly. We can go in and get our shoe dirty, and not because there are proper pathway laid down for you to walk. There are light street lamps for you in the night. You know, Singapore is a very well-lit country. Everywhere you go, it's so well-lit. I've gone to so many countries, even like Korea, Seoul. On the apartment, you walk along the corridor, the lights will dim off after you pass by. Everywhere is very dark. I went to a university in China, walked across the big grass patch. There's no light. But as I walked through the path, I saw many people sitting on the grass. Wow. I don't know whether Singaporeans will do that or not in Singapore. So I realized there's a deep disconnect. So I went on to set on the course to say, I want to build something different. I want to build something different. It was a nightmare. It was not real. People thought I was crazy because where's the land? Do you have land? Are you a millionaire? Are you an architect? Are you a designer? Are you what? You have well-connected figures? No, I don't have anything. But I told them I have guts. I have imagination. I think I'm with this too. And with the willingness, like just now I heard Rayan say, and even though she didn't say it, she said, you know, we are Singapore. I brought up this system. We still have creativity. Many of us who are born and raised here, we love our countries. And I think we need to create a little bit different. Now, I'm not one of those who say that just because we love our country, therefore we don't want other people to come in here. In fact, when we started GUI for the first year, my slogan was, we don't have a problem with foreign talent. We welcome all of you to come and help us to build. So I initiated this community and the program called Balik Kampung. Balik is a Malay word called return, and Kampung, of course, village. I want people to come and get your hands dirty, do things. I actually resisted the term learning by doing. I tried to create my own new terms. So much so that people look at GUI, they think that we're a gardening club. They think that we are a green club. They think I'm a tree hugger. But I say we are much more than that. If there's one thing I ask you to farm, it's your heart. It's not farming. That is only just the physical thing. So this Balik Kampung has gone on for 6 years. And it's gone from strength to strength. Many people now come every weekend to do many things, to build the space. When you participate in building a space and keep coming week after week, day after day, you are no longer just a user. You are no longer just an audience. You are a direct participant. You have a connection to this place. You build community. You learn the meaning of interconnectedness. You learn that life is not just textbook. You learn that life has a much more meaning than the computers and the smartphone. We need much more than that. We need food to survive. Do we appreciate our food? We use this space to teach many, many things. So I'm just going to show you just a little bit of things. We started from Lim Chu Kang. That's the northwestern part with 100 square meters. So 1 year later, we moved to Border Tree Park. And using the power of community, we built many things. Okay? Through the power of community, we educate people to appreciate the meaning of hard labor. Everybody came in to take part, even kids. The 2 children spent 5 years with us when they were young. Of course, now under our examination system, they no longer come anymore. They have to go tuitions and many things. And anybody came to do. Those people doing the lights, they were engineers, but they never even learned how to fix lamp themselves. So they learned many things. We came together to create many different kind of programs, like the one in the middle, the one, National Geographic Children Program. We created, those people lying there are teachers. They were teachers from a school. I make them lie down there under the hot sun at 12 o'clock. And they were like, so hot, it's so hot. I said, yeah, now you know what your students are going through, right? We created a cultural program because we want to save the land. And do you know many young people came and do all these things? They told me, Chief, that's what they like to call me. They say, we never know what is called kampong spirit until we came to GUI. We heard this term so often. I have many young people, 20 years old, studying overseas, Singaporeans. They came to me, they say, you know what, Chief, you please come and talk to my generation. We are unhappy. We're not happy at all. We do not even know why are we doing a lot of things. It wasn't like that when I started. I was just on a very simple mission. I just want to create something like this. I didn't even call it a university in the beginning. I didn't even call it a school. I just want to create a space for people to come. I just want people to come and become human again. That's all I want. And guess what? They say, I'm unhappy. We start to receive delinquents. We started to receive so many different kind of people. Many people started coming. And yet, you know what? Our ministry say that I'm poisoning the minds of the young. Wow. Many people got poisoned. Okay? And you know what? Our classroom, we call it the living classroom, a natural space setting. Anywhere can be used as a learning space. Whether it's rain, shine, lightning. You know, every time lightning, we all got to take cover. I always say, don't worry. When all your hair start coming up, then you know you'll be struck. Then you start take cover. You learn how to teach people to appreciate, to learn how to survive. Do you think we can survive these days? If urbanites being thrown to the wilderness, do you think we can survive? Do you think now if there is a real destruction, a disaster, do you think we can survive? I think the Hollywood movies gave us the answer, right? The urbanites will have the most solution. They will go through a lot of committees, planning things together. And yet there'll be people who try to do things. And this is what I'm asking people to do. So the hardware, nurturing yourself, subconsciously, bit by bit, your heart is shaken a little bit. You become more empathetic. You become more conscious about many, many things that's happening. So, when I started this whole space, I learned many wisdom around the world. One of my favorite wisdom is from this, Zhong Li Yu. It's a 4 Chinese character that says, if you want to nurture people with elegant, spirited people, you need beautiful and natural space. So for me, space matters. And I have to go and convince the government, please don't take away this last space. Please don't take it away. Because if they take it away, we will have a problem. We look at around our schools, all concrete. And I fought very hard. So I just want to say, this is something that we are now trying to do. Do we have time still? Yes. But I want to show you, this is the artist's impression of hopefully we will build within 2 years' time. We didn't get any grant. We are not getting money from the government. I want it to be a campus totally built by community. Everybody can come and contribute $10, $20, $30, whatever it is. We invite many people, and it's already happening now. We've been doing already. So you know what? Let me just, again, I went to the website this morning. It said the desired outcome of our education system. It says a confident person, a self-directed learner, an active contributor, and a concerned citizen. And then I was like, hey, that looks like me, man. I think I can safely say that I've done that. So with that, I want to say thank you very much. And I think that in life, there's another way to live, to learn and be happy. And I'm here to want to show Singaporeans, especially who are so trapped in many, many things. And you must remember, I came from the era when education, without education, It's really a taboo here. And I have demonstrated that it's possible to be like that. And I thank you very much for this morning, your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Lai Hock. All right, I'm sure all of you are as invigorated as I am with Lai Hock's energy this morning. So we'll open up for a little bit of Q&A.
Yes, sir. We take the question, then we watch the video.
Okay, good. I know you have been doing for 6 years, as what you've mentioned. And we educated people like to do things and the ground is sweet. So for your last 6 years, how you design your program from strength to strength such that you have a crowd that follows you? Because most of the program will be people have not heard of. The ground is definitely sour or bitter or whichever. It's not sweet. So my question is how you design your program from strength to strength and how you get a crowd following you, yeah?
Wow, that's an interesting question. You know, a few years ago, 2011, somebody from MOE came again, a superintendent, they came. They said, oh, Lai Hock, we heard about your programs. We heard about what you're doing, you know. So why are you certified in? I look at him and said, I'm not certified in anything. So what do you major? Sorry, I didn't major in anything. Sorry, we cannot engage you. You know, we are from MOE. We only work with people who are certified and qualified. I say, yes, I know. That's why I never came to you. You came to me. I didn't spend the first few years engaging all these people. I spent the first year, second year, bringing up the communities, nurturing leaders, setting example, being on the ground, sweat it out, educate more people. Actually, I don't use the word educate. I use the word nurture. I need to nurture more leaders to have the word, what they call thinker, warrior, and farmer. You need these three elements to become a leader. We need more. Then we create more programs. Then, of course, you work with people who want to take a risk with you because you're untested, bit by bit, bit by bit. Nothing beats that way. I didn't go through marketing. I didn't go advertise. I didn't create brochures just by words of mouth because I believe, because I also realized my background, I know if I do that, people will come, excuse me, you don't have this, check, you don't have, sorry, we won't work with you. So I work with teachers or anybody, even government people who are willing to try out with me. And they did. And this year we did a very big program with the government to train government leaders how to be a human. Really, we did that. And they were like, first day I came in, I say, okay, I know traditionally you think, do, feel. Here I'm going to ask you a feel, do, think. They were, what do you mean by that? I said, oh, you forgot how to feel? Okay, never mind, we'll teach you how to feel. The next day they came back, next morning they say, yeah, Lai Hock, we forgot how to be human being again. It's the basic thing. So just slowly, of course now the ground is a little bit sweeter, but it's still siu tai, you know. You know what siu tai, right? It means less sweet. The local term means less sweet. You go for coffee, siu tai means less sweet. It's still less sweet. It's still not very sweet yet. If it's very sweet, you see me everywhere, right? Suddenly I become the gurus. But you know what? That's not what I want. I want many people to be inspired to make the change yourself. If everybody come to me, I'll be very busy, you know. I still want to backpack around the world.
Any questions?
You mentioned that, you left Silicon Valley, your 5-figure income, and you went to travel the world, and now you're starting this. So, what is the reaction of your parents? Like when you when you left, your job, like when you were 33, and then, what's their reaction now? And I guess how did you kind of deal with that?
Yeah, I got this question in the last many years. I left in 1999 my Silicon Valley job, a 6-figure annual salary. You can come and check my income tax. Yeah. Of course, I didn't tell my mom that I'm going to do this. I just tell my mom, I'm going away for holiday. How long? I just okay lah, I'll come back lah. So I call every month. At first I call every week, then I call every month, then I call every few months, then I don't call anymore. Especially when I arrive in South America, I spent 8 months in South America. At that time, we don't have Skype, we don't have a lot of things. So I just emailed my brother, and those days the internet speed was 56 KB per second. Wow, when you reach 100 KB per second, it's like heaven, you know. So I said, hey, telephone very expensive, I don't call. So of course I just disappear lah. That's all. But from time to time, I'll send pictures to my brother. I said, just tell my mom that it's everything okay. Of course, I came back when I do this. Again, my mom find it very hard to understand, right? Which parent will understand? Tell me. So I always tell my mom, when I was working very hard when in my corporate days. You always say, yeah, you work so hard, you work so hard. And now I very relaxed. Before I do GI, I was quite relaxed, you know. I mean, I do things, but I cry. Then she always say, how come you're not working, you're not working? So I say, Mom, you're full of contradiction, right? But the bottom line is that you just have to learn how to follow your heart, especially Asians. The Westerners are very good in this, right? Your culture, you just go off. Your parents, I know many Westerners. Maybe it's just an assumption like I'm saying. But I know for Asian, especially even more Singaporeans, we stay with our parents even after we have got married, you know. Right, I know many people, not like in big country like China, you leave your village and go elsewhere. So Singaporeans are really very dependent on parents. We have 3-generation housing scheme, we have all kind of things. Nothing wrong with that. So I just do lah. So I have many such kind of questions. How? I say, just do lor. Just slowly. Are you facing this dilemma now? If you have, you can come and talk to me after that. Next question, please. Yes.
Thank you very much for your talk. Very inspiring. Thank you. I'm particularly interested in food. I think a lot of the disconnect that we are facing today is also coming through our food systems. Especially in Singapore, 95% of the food is imported. So if there is any concern in Singapore, it should be with food security. I saw that you do a lot of farming in your kampung. Are you using your kampung to educate people on organic farming? What type of farming do you do in terms of food? Do you sell the food? Is your kampung a place that outsiders can visit to learn more? Reason why I'm asking is because I'm running workshops on food, so I think it's a very interesting project and I wouldn't mind paying a visit. Yeah, so if you can just say what food education you do, that would be great.
Thank you for this. When I was backpacking, in 2002, I spent 10 days doing organic farming in Spain. It was my first time ever to experience organic farming and to taste the produce directly from the trees. And during lunchtime, we just pluck whatever vegetable. I was like, wow, I never tasted the food so sweet. So when I came back to Singapore, one of the first things I do was to understand more about farming. So I went to help an organic farmer in Singapore for 2 years. Yeah. So of course, now you know. And GUI, I wouldn't dare to say that we are organic farming, but we don't use chemical. So we started by doing a lot of things because I want to tackle food security problem. So with the campus now you see, 10% of the land, we are 26,000 square meters. So more than 10% of our land will be devoted to farming. And throughout the park, we will grow lots of fruit trees, herbs, and everything. And that's only one aspect. Just also to share with you a few things. I just came back from Switzerland, Zurich. I was invited by ETH University. I was invited to talk about food, health, and environment. Yes, because they are coming in a big way. And I think we all know that Singapore has a big issue in time to come. People are still denying it. But we are totally dependent on external factors. So in our space, what we have successfully created is not just the farming per se. It's that we have made many younger people who are graduates suddenly say, hey, actually I like farming. Like just now the young man, he's only 26 years old. He was trained in digital science and digital media stuff. He wanted to be an urban farmer. So also next year, we are now working in collaboration with the biggest organic producer in Southeast Asia. They will want to help us to certify our space to be organic also. Sensing, yes. Yeah, you know Sensing. And there are more programs, so definitely. And I also, just one last one, ASEAN University invited me to submit courses. I submitted 3 and all got accepted. And one of it is about food security issue also. It's about going into how with many people now leaving the countryside, leaving the farmland, you cannot ask the young people to become farmers. They will not become farmers. Then how do you tackle this problem? So we show them the GUI way. Getting people to have fun, communities and everything, and that's why people will come. Limited success now, I dare to say, but hopefully with a bigger space. So right now, even on weekdays, today as I'm speaking, we have a lot of young people coming to work on the farmland every day. So you may want to come and take a look with us. And I certainly welcome you to partner with us because the campus is so big, we are looking for lots of partners to collaborate with us. Welcome. Another question. Yes.
Okay, this will be the last question, so thank you.
Check. I guess my question is, when you have new programs or you're trying to tell people new things, more often than not, we end up talking to those who already are on that side of questioning things. How do you reach out to people who haven't started questioning what they are and what they're seeing yet?
Quite interesting. I hope I get you correctly. You means you're talking to people who are not converted yet.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know about this audience today, but when I came back from my backpacking, and then 1 year later, I started meeting a lot of new age people, a lot of gurus, a lot of greenies, a lot of people. But I never considered myself as gurus, and even until today, please don't call me a guru, please. And then I attended their talk, their workshop. I saw what they deal with and who they deal with. And then after a while, I said, why are you talking to the converted one? Why don't you talk to people who are not converted yet? And then you know what? It's very difficult to talk to the unconverted one. Very difficult. So I talked to them, and after a while, I know it's very difficult even to shake them a little bit. So you know what? I decided to go. So 2004, 2005, I was a life skill corporate trainer. I need to eat a bit at the time. I'm still doing that. So I went to a corporate training, doing sales, marketing, customer service, and everything. For 2 years, I educate people in many things. But you know what? I don't talk about sales. My first few hours will talk about life. And you always see feedback like this. I thought I came here to learn sales, but how make me learn how to smile again. Because these people were retrenched. We had a serious retrenchment in the past. So I continued to reach out to the unconverted. So then I went into farming. Then I actually wanted to be just a simple farmer. Then I realized it's very difficult to get people to farm. Singapore weather, how to farm. I mean, that's the truth, right? You're not like Western country, temperate zone, very nice. I also love to do that. I was in Spain, so nice. I was in New Zealand 7 months in total, 2 times. Very nice to farm. How to farm? How to get people to farm? Food is so cheap here. No motivation to farm. I was in Zurich. My God, one falafel wrap, 9 franc. 9 franc. This little small thing can't even fill my stomach, right? So there's no motivation for people to farm. I'm just giving you an analogy. So when I started GUI, I said we have to go this way. And people say, but of course I have people. I said, no, you have to go this way. Of course today, thank goodness, proven right again. So if you want to be the pioneers, then you have to take the flag of people who don't believe in you, who say you are poisoning the minds of the young. You're crazy, you're that. But I thought that somebody say that only the misfit, the crazy ones, are the ones that are really changing the world, right? So what do you want to be? So, and of course, then you join people. If you think you cannot be the pioneers to lead, then join those people who are also doing this already. Yeah, but that's my thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.